Good Saturday morning to all of you. I hope that you are having a delightful Saturn's Day. I've got 3 new flow journals to go into the shop today. I sourced a little bit of, well, not a little bit because you have to buy a lot of the braided tassel that I've been looking for this week. I also wanted to say a big thank you to all of you who have been so kind to send me samples of things and to suggest places where I could purchase this kind of beaded braiding with tassels. I did find out, y'all, that it was it's a decor kind of trim. And I was interested to find that out because you won't find this at craft stores, right? Someone said that Hobby Lobby did have some ribbon. I called Hobby Lobby and asked them for this kind of thing. They didn't have this, but they do have some braiding that has beads. Just ribbon that has beads on it. So I may go to Hobby Lobby at some point and see what that might look like to go with these journals. But in the meantime, let's just do this one first since this has new tassels on it. This is the tassel cording that I ordered on Amazon, and I gotta tell you, I really do like it. I think it goes with, it matches well with the fabric that we're using for the covers for these journals, and I was actually very pleased with it. I'm also pleased because I can flip it over and the stitching is evident on the other side. So to me, that makes it kind of a 2-in-1. If I don't like the way that one side looks, then I can just flip it over and use it on the other side, which was kind of making me happy. So let's take a look at this journal. I did use a really big button as a closure. I'm out of brads. I'm going to have to figure that one out. A lot of times you can buy brads, but they're super tiny. Another thing that craft stores, well, my local Michaels that, my Michaels is in the path of my, weekly travels. But they don't have brads at Michaels. So that's just another thing that I'm going to have to look for. I'm hoping to get to Scrap RVA soon because they always have orphan brads there. And I like to buy orphan things myself. This one has a big bead on it, button. These books are 5 3/4 by 8, so rather big books. They're finished with cracked glass beads. Thank you, Miss G, for sending beads to me for my birthday. I appreciate that so much. And some hand-rolled paper beads as well. So you can see how the tassels look in conjunction with this fabric, and I gotta say, I'm pleased with it. Let's take a look inside and see what we have. Now these are, packed full of things for you to play with. We've got lots of papers, we've got ephemera bits, we've got sticker bits. This one starts out with a piece of ephemera that is, let me take my glasses off. You can see the stamp down here says 1867. Just such beautiful writing, my friends. Look at that. It's a freight from Mantequa on, I can't read that. I don't know. 100 boxes of sugar at $1.75 a box. Wonder how big the boxes were. April 15th, 1867. So just a beautiful bit of ephemera to start you out. We have words for you. There are some coloring items in these journals as well. As you guys know, I do like a batch of 3, and I try not to repeat things that I'm putting in here. So one batch of 3 will have certain things in it. The next batch of 3 will have different things in it. So we've got our piece of ephemera. We've got hairy paper clips for you guys to play with. This one does have, you can see a little assortment of papers here, a little focal image here. There is a picture of Sir Isaac Newton in the back. Vintage text for you guys to play with. There is a tarot card. If you're not into tarot, then, you know, flip it over and do something else with it. To me, tarot is just, you know, to me it's interesting. I had a friend who was a tarot expert several years ago, and she was amazing. I was like totally blown away. This is a vintage baby. Congratulations to the happy family. What is cool about this little card is all of these little things that are on the clothesline right here flip up. Good health, joy to all of you. And this one says happiness. It's just such a sweet little card. I tell you, my first child just turned 40, and when he was a little baby, I used cloth diapers, and I would hang those cloth diapers out, you know, wash them and hang them on the line. That was some sort of spiritual mommy moment, and I'm sorry for those of us now who have to use Pampers and things like that. They are super convenient, but there is nothing quite like seeing white baby diapers drying on a clothesline in the summer. It's just, it's spiritual. It's mommy spiritual. These books have double pockets in them. So you'll see, you know, we have our usual pockets, 8 of those, and then we'll have some double pockets arranged in here for you. Fabric pieces. We have lots of papers. We have some kitty cat ephemera for you to choose from. We have, this is, I believe, the internal structure of a lamprey. I believe this is from an encyclopedia, so I thought that was very interesting. I love these metallics on these fabrics, and the next book I'll show you has a metallic cover on it. So we've got just things for you to play with. You know how if you're in the middle of a project, and remember these are orphan things. These are not like brand new kind of things. These are vintage. These are old pieces. They are orphan stickers and things like that from collections that people were done with, didn't want, and they sent them to me. This is a sweet little note on this baby card. It says, Cousin Catherine, how does it seem to be parents, and how is the little precious bundle of heaven, Harry John? So that was his name. The baby's name was Harry John. We have a vintage Get Well card here for you, a sticker right here. This is a sweet little floral piece that you can add to something. This is a magazine page back here. We have some kitty cat for you. These books are so handy, y'all. This is so sweet. This is like netting on this vintage baby announcement here. You know how when you're doing a project, look, Mr. Rogers, and you kind of get to a point and you go, well, I need a focal image, or I just need a little something to finish this up. These books are great as a go-to for that little piece of finishing up. And when we get to that point, I love this. This is Modern Lamps. When we get to that point, a lot of times we start shuffling through our stash, and then, you know, 2 hours later, we still have not found that one little piece that we could have been done with and finished a project. So these books are great. Like, they're very compact. They're very concise. They have a lot of variety in them. So you can take one of these books and actually use it as a finishing, you know, your finishing touch book. And of course, the pockets are arranged so you can empty the pockets and then put things back in it. This is a photo of Buzz Aldrin. I know that we all watched with such interest, or I did, because I remember it, in 1969, the moon landing. I was 11 and Chris was not born yet. So I was telling him about me sitting and watching the moon landing, which was very interesting. He's younger than me. This is another baby announcement. Y'all, the flocking is still perfect on this vintage greeting card. This is a Hallmark vintage greeting card. We have a little bit of magazine imagery here, papers, stickers, some papers that are arranged with brads. So you've got brads in here to play with. This is such pretty fabric. Just that pops of gold. A vintage flashcard right here. You've got tags to play with. You could turn those into bookmarks if you want. More kitty cat imagery. I love this. This is the way electric lights work. I forget what book that was from. It was very interesting. I think it was from an encyclopedia. This is a sweet bit of ephemera here. I love this. Now, this is not like one of those Tim Holtz things. You know, this is an actual old little, what do they call that? A cabinet. You can slip a photo in here. A cabinet piece. I forget what it's called. More things for you to play with. I love this image right here. I appreciate you for staying awake. I really do like that sticker. This is a sweet image right here. It's a magazine image, and reflected in this girl's eyes is a rocket going up. So it says, "Look up." And there's a little flower piece for you to play with. More fabric, more paper, more text ephemera, kitty cat things, a little packet of things for you to play with right here. It's got buttons and all kinds of creative fodder in it. And we've got a little bit of, again, a magazine page. A lot of this I took from National Geographic. That was talking about space travel. So I thought the imagery was very, very interesting. So there we go. Let's call this one, because it does have a lot of space imagery, let's call it, we'll call it Lost in Space. One of my very favorite shows was Lost in Space when I was a little girl. Loved Lost in Space. Loved anything that had to do with space travel. I really got that bug quite early on in life. This book is finished with the original kind of braided, beaded tassel that someone had given me a while back. It's finished with a clear button. It's not a clear button. You can see the kind of finish that this has on it. It's a clear button, but it's kind of superimposed on top of a piece of art right here. This is what the spine looks like, and this is what the back looks like. This is one of those pieces of fabric that has that kind of pop of gold. And this one starts out with a pocket full of family-oriented scrapbook imagery and stuff. So you've got that there. I really did love this piece of vellum. I would love to have more vellum. I never quite know what to do with it, but it worked out really nicely here. This is a contract from Seward County, and it is dated 1873. It has some great vintage writing on it. Very pretty. Got signatures at the bottom. So I know you guys will have fun with that. A little pad of paper that is has a brad on it right here. Sorry, I keep moving things up. You've got papers. You've got things to color. You've got ABCs. You've got magazine imagery here. Again, these have double pockets. So here's an example of a double pocket right here. I repurposed a journal that I was no longer using. So you have double pockets. A little fairy right here. This is an iron-on. Vintage baby card. This is so sweet. Look at that. Kitty cat ephemera, some coloring things. My friend Judy gives these to me, and I love using them in these journals. I mean, how fun to just be able to go to a journal and pop something out to color and play with. These, of course, I'm repurposing our pocket flow pockets when we were doing flow pockets, and I'm repurposing the pockets as little fold outs for these journals. Got some fabric pieces. FYI, frequently yawning inside. That's how I get about 3 p.m. I get to where I'd like to just yawning inside. I like to take a nap. Can't believe I used to fight over, taking a nap. Now it's like it's the luxury of the world to be able to lie down for a few minutes and take a nap. Though I don't do that because that's 2 mornings in one day, and I just can't do it. Got a little packet of things for you to play with. Love this card. Step on it. Get well soon. Here's hoping you'll soon be well and on your feet again. Love from us all. Meadowlark Girl Scout Troop. Isn't that a sweet card? We've got all kinds of focal imagery, magazine pages. I really did like this. This is a magazine page, and at the top it says, "You want to go where no one has gone before." That reminded me of Star Trek. Another show that I absolutely adored and never missed when I was a kid. And we're ending up with this sweet little baby announcement right here. Isn't that pretty? The very best for you and baby too. And it's on a piece of like aluminum board. I'm not sure what that was. So there we go, my friends. Let's call this one, I don't know. Let's call this one Golden Girl. We'll call this one Golden Girl. Please don't let me forget this. What were we going to call the other one? I'll have to go back and look. I can't remember. I dig this fabric. It is really pretty, you guys. I did use 2 pieces of this fabric to cover the cover, to do the cover of this journal because the fabric is very thin. So I did use 2 pieces of it. I really love the trim. This is a sequined and kind of rope trim. I used a button right here. This is what the spine looks like. A selection of cracked beads. I thought the wooden beads really did fit this journal really well. It has a very Indian feel to it. So let's take a look. We start with the little squirrel here. The ephemera piece in here is a letter, and it talks about a machine. It ends with, I'll let you delight in reading through this, but it ends with, "Please ask Mr. Morrell what he would think of his ability to sell the machine or to make some disposition of it. Thomas and Mother are at the school. Much love to your wife. Do write often." It's a very interesting letter. Apparently, it really is about this machine, and I don't know what the machine is, but it's super interesting. So that is your, let's see, 1864 piece of ephemera right here. WTF, what's this for? Very PG with these kind of books that we have going here. Hold on, let me get this. Okay, and of course we have the double pockets. We have fabric and paper for you to play with. A little bit of kitty ephemera. Don't you love that? I love the white background there. And this is a vintage fabric from Sarah's Auntie. I don't have very much of that left, but I thought I would put it in here. A vintage bit of guitar ephemera for you guys. How happy you must be. This is one of those vintage baby cards. Mabel, Ed, and Barbara Ann. To the happy parents. This is cute. Advice on bringing up baby. Babies should come with instruction books. I guess they kind of do, but they kind of don't. I like the way this goes together, y'all. The paper has a metallic element to it, and so does the fabric. Remember, all of this is removable. You can take out a whole signature and just take it with you if you're going on a trip or if you're waiting in a doctor's office, or of course you can take a whole book with you. Again, 5 3/4 by 8. So it would fit into, depends on what kind of bag you carry. You know, if you carry like a small knapsack kind of bag, then of course these would fit very easily. If you carry a bigger purse, then those would fit easily as well. Another little fold out here. And this does have a blue meanie from Yellow Submarine. Isn't that cool? Have a little bit of vellum right here to play with. Another like double pocket. I love this fabric, you guys. This is our clock fabric that we worked with earlier this year. A little element that you can color. I gotta show you this vintage Get Well card. It says Sunny Shop, and there is a piece of like plastic right here. I know you can kind of see that as I kind of you know, a glass window in here. And this is from Ruth and Ralph. I just thought that was a beautiful card. Such a sweet card. A fairy for you. This is a story about a cat that lives at the Vatican that can open the doors. Yeah. I think this is from a 1994 National Geographic. We have some little ephemera pieces down here for you to play with. Stickers, ABCs, tags. Kind of dig this paper too. Has robots on it. Again, Lost in Space. Nerdy, geek, yes. That's me. And the last pocket here has little stickers in it, some leaves. This is such cool paper. It's like a cardboard-ish paper. It's really neat. And, you know, I could not resist putting this Baker's Chocolate Baker's Chocolate box in here, because I love this image of the old-fashioned lady, and she's holding, looks like probably brownies on a tray. I just thought that was super, super cool. Okay, we're going to call this one Marigold Hotel, because one of my favorite movies is the best exotic Marigold Hotel. One of my very favorite movies ever. And so we'll call her Marigold Hotel. So you guys, thank you for joining me this morning. I'm waiting on a few more journals to dry before I get to the point where we can layer them. And when I say layer, I just mean like jam all kinds of good stuff in them. Thank you guys for watching. I'll have these in the Etsy store quite soon. Thanks a bunch. Talk to you later. Bye.